hard to understand. Nothing goes as planned. Just work out who you wanna be. Your heart is gonna break. You're gonna make mistakes. You got to close your eyes and breathe. You fall through time.
What's up, guys? I'm finally posting this hair tutorial. I know you've been requesting it on my Instagram and my Facebook. I didn't mean to tease you, I promise. I was just trying to perfect this look and I finally got it. The very first time that I did this look, I didn't film it, so I've just been spending this entire time trying to get it to look exactly the same way that it did the very first time. And so every single time that I posted a picture on Instagram, there's a video to match that, but I just didn't think it was right to post. So I finally got it looking right, so let me show you what I did. As a lot of you guys guessed, yes, this style starts out with the Flexi rod set. I've already done a video on how I do my Flexi rod sets, and so I'm gonna link that right here on screen, or you can click the link in the description box. And unfortunately, this set took forever to dry. It was really late at night, so I threw my curls up into a pineapple overnight to preserve it. The next morning, my curls are still there, although they're definitely more stretched. But that's totally fine. The very first time I did this style was on an old Flexi rod set. My curls were pretty much gone anyway. So feel free to do this on new or old Flexi rod sets. Either way, the results are going to be great. I already got started on the bottom, which is where all those stretch curls were. So you can see the curl pattern here isn't perfect. But again, that's okay. It's going to be covered by the top layer of curls, which are much more defined, and so you won't notice any difference. So here's what I do. Just grab a few curl sections to start, and working one curl at a time, you're going to separate the heck out of that curl. Like, just go for it, guys. Of course, you want to pay attention to where the hair naturally wants to separate so you don't create frizz, but you basically want to just separate the curl until you can't separate it anymore. So we're just freeing all those little curl sections and letting them do their own thing. And that's pretty much it. If you want the same look that I have, you just keep separating until there's no more curls to separate. But of course, you can separate the hair less depending on your preference. Just know that the more you separate, the more volume and frizz you're gonna get. But for this look, I personally think that the volume and frizz is what makes it so awesome. It makes it look so much more natural, carefree, and casual than a regular Flexi rod set. So now you can see that curl pattern starting to pop. And check out that volume and movement. Oh, so good, so good. Okay, so there's really not a lot of direction here, guys. This style is really easy to do and pretty self-explanatory. Oh, and I use a little bit of argan oil on my hands while separating to get the curls to pop and shine. It also helps tame a bit of the frizz, although it's definitely welcome for this look. So just keep grabbing those curls and separate them until you can't separate them anymore. Now notice that I'm not really twirling or trying to redefine the curl once I separate it. If anything, it's just a little bit at the bottom. But you really don't want to twirl these little individual curl sections. For one, it's going to be a pain to detangle. But also, it takes away a bit of the softness to the style. It makes it kind of look a little weird, like wormy. I don't know how to describe it, but just take a look at what happens when you do twirl each section. You see how the outside curls look really great and soft, but the inside looks too defined and really wormy looking. So if you really feel like you have to define the curl because there's just too much frizz, just twirl the very bottom of the curl and not near the roots to keep it looking soft. check out that amazing volume, guys. Alright, so now the first side is done, I'm going to do the same exact thing to the other side. So like I said, I did a lot of trial and error on this style, and so there's 3 main tips that I want you guys to remember to get the best look possible. Number 1 is you want to make sure your hair is completely detangled before rolling it onto your flexi rods. Because there's a lot of separating in this style, you're going to need to be able to quickly and easily separate your curls, and that means no distractions from any snags or knots. So just make sure your hair is completely detangled before you start. Number 2, to get the most curl definition, make sure you roll small to medium sized sections. Large sections won't separate as well or provide as much curl definition. And 3, do not separate your hair until your flexi rod set is completely bone dry. Now, you can get away with damp flexi rod sets when you're just separating it once or twice, but for this look, where you're literally separating out every single curl, it needs to be bone dry for it to work.
It can be beautiful if you survive the fall. Can you let yourself forgive?
Alright, so my bangs are super long, so to create the look of shorter bangs, I just push the hair in the front backwards and bobby pin it in place, allowing the curls to fall back over towards the front. I'm grabbing some edge defining gel to help smooth the hair back on the sides and then bobby pin that in place. This just helps to make it look neater. A little argan oil to moisturize my ends, smooth my curls, and brighten my color. And that's it, guys! I freaking love this style. Now, this style is super easy, but I'm not gonna lie, it can take a long time to do, mainly because there's just so much separating. Probably takes me about 1.5 hours just to separate the curls. So although it's easy to do, it can feel a bit tedious, but it looks so cute. And it feels so good. Like, my hair feels so light and airy, and it just moves so freely.
Try to understand.
So that's it, guys. I know you've been waiting for this tutorial, and I really hope that you liked it. And I hope that you give it a try. It seriously feels amazing and light on your head. And it looks so cute and carefree.
Gonna make mistakes. You got to close your eyes and breathe.
And if you do give it a try, be sure to show me through my Twitter or Instagram. Alright guys, I hope this helps, and I'll see you in the next one. Missed my last video? Click the link to the left to check out some tips on traveling with natural hair for special events. And I hope you guys had a great Easter Sunday. Click the link to the right to come hang out with my family and I as we celebrate with the kids. Alright, see you guys there.
Can be beautiful if you survive the fall. Can you